Hey, what's up guys? I'm back with another video. This time it's going to be my first build for Outriders. This build is a sniper build for the Technomancer, and it's a ton of fun. Hopefully you guys like it too, but it does depend a lot on your accuracy. So with that being said, let's go ahead and get into the skills we use first. So we're using Blighted Rounds, Scrapnel, and Blighted Turret. Now, there are some mods that we use that are essentially required to make this build work properly. But we'll get into that in a moment. First, let's go over the tree. So we go into the Pestilence tree, just like I'm sure most Technomancers do. But instead of going for Assault Master, we go for Sniper Master. So just a quick overview. First one, you have no choice really on if you're gonna just follow this tree completely, is going to be BR8 Impact Amplifier. Weapon damage is increased by 8%. Then we go with Weapon Leech by 5%, which will help quite a bit actually. We're going to be hitting for a lot of damage, so Weapon Leech going up is going to help a lot. Now you could pick to reduce decay skills cooldown by 15%. The only reason I don't suggest this is because basically your blighted round should never ever go on cooldown, and if they do, well, that sucks, but honestly you shouldn't have that issue as long as you're pretty accurate. And then your blighted turret, that's up so quick that it really doesn't matter. Next is drill coating. Armor piercing is increased by 10%. I mean, it's good, and you have to do it to continue the tree anyways. Sniper Master, this is the most important one because we're using a sniper. So increasing your sniper weapon damage by 20%, and sniper weapons will drop 20% more often. Now, this includes marksman rifles, automatic sniper rifles, and bolt action rifles. And then we take increase your critical damage by 15%, which is BL, SCM, Havoc, Nexus. And then exposing toxin, which every time toxic is inflicted on an enemy, vulnerable status is inflicted as well. We also amplify the vulnerable by 40% with marked for execution. And then moving back to the Pestilence tree line, we take nitrogen capsules, decreasing the distance considered to be long range by 3 meters, and then another BR impact amplifier, and then another nitrogen capsules. We also take purge. Enemies afflicted with toxic receive 10% more damage. Your blighted rounds are going to be inflicting the toxic like crazy, so you're going to be wanting this on. We also take cannonade. Activating ordnance skills increases weapon damage for you and your allies by 30% for 10 seconds. This is why we take Scrapnel. If you can find a way to make Pain Launcher work, there is a freeze mod that you could use that would make it actually really good. However, I feel like Pain Launcher is too indirect, so it doesn't work as well. Scrapnel can get you out of sticky situations. So if you get swarmed, you can throw a Scrapnel grenade, and it'll at least get them off of you. It might not kill them, but it'll do a good amount of damage at the very least. So, moving on, another BR8 impact amplifier. Then Sniper Adept increases your sniper weapon damage by 12%. Drill coating again. 2 sides of the power. Now this can be switched out if you feel necessary, because you're still going to do a lot of damage, but this does increase it by 20%, but it also makes your survivability 15% less. So it's a double-edged sword. Kind of do what you feel is best for you on that. If you don't take this, you could switch to something like blur screen, just to give you more survivability. You can make toxic last longer, get some assault weapon damage, I guess. I mean, there's a couple of options, not a whole lot though if you're gonna follow this. But I would say that this is probably your best option if you think you can survive well. Next is Sharpshooter. Increase your long range weapon damage by 30%. Then UT-14 clips increases mag size by 50%. Purge. Enemies afflicted with toxic receive 15% more damage. And then Empowering Antenna. Activating Decay increases weapon damage for you and your allies by 40% for 10 seconds. So tons of weapon damage increase, and since we're using a sniper, it's just really good. It's a lot of fun, but it depends a lot on your accuracy. So if you're not very accurate, you're gonna struggle with this build quite a bit, but that doesn't mean you can't get better and get more accurate with time. So with that, let's go ahead and look at our abilities and everything. So Rarog's Gaze is the rifle that we're using. It's a rifle standard variant, and it has crit damage, status power, and long range damage. These are all great for the build. Now, Weakness Trap is really good itself. It's, I mean, you don't need it. You can use something else. It's not really a big deal, but one I do absolutely suggest is Winter Blast. Critical shots create an icy blast that inflicts freeze on enemies within a 4-meter radius. Because this build is a sniper build, you will get into bad situations kind of a lot. So Winter Blast helps with those situations. Keeping enemies frozen makes it to where you can kill them easier. It makes it to where they're not hitting you. So freeze is kind of the main thing you want to focus on, as well as your toxic. But the toxic will come with the blighted round, so no need to focus too heavily on that. Next is I just use an automatic shotgun. This is kind of just if my blighted rounds wear out and I get swarmed. Now, you could use any gun for the second one. It's really not a big deal. You just need something to basically be able to get everything off of you in a short amount of time, because you will probably die pretty quick if you can't. Now, if you have blighted rounds and it's still on, which it should be on pretty much all the time, you don't want to switch from your rifle. You just want to be doing quick shots on the enemies. So, with that being said, if you do have to use your second weapon, you just want a good one that'll blow them away. However, blighted round should be up, so you shouldn't have to. I'm using Ivory and Bone for my headgear. It is a legendary piece. You don't need this. I haven't even tested it out fully yet, so I want to, but I haven't gotten the chance because I got it just this morning. And Kingslayer seems really good. Critical hits on an elite increases your firepower by 5,010 for 6 seconds. And then it has personal space, which gives 15% bonus to close range weapon damage. Now, it seems really good, and I think it will be good ultimately. However, what I do suggest, since there's a chance that at this point in challenge tier 8 or 9, you're not going to have Ivory and Bone. So what I suggest is going for bonus firepower, skill life leech, and if you can get it, status power. I think that is better. Or long range damage. One of those would be better than cooldown reduction. And then I use more traps so that I have a second scrapnel in case I get into a bad situation. And then I also use damage absorber. This is just a protection mod essentially. Increases your armor by whatever it's going to tell you, because it's going to say different for everyone actually, by that much, and resistance by 10%. So this is just a way to stay alive. And there's probably better ones, but I don't currently have them. So for right now, we're using damage absorber. And then next, going to our chest piece, bonus firepower, long range damage, status power. If you can get skills life leech, you might want to try to get that on there. However, you don't need it. This is actually very solid if you feel like you're surviving plenty. This is actually ideal if you feel you don't need the skills life leech. Bonus firepower, long range damage, and status power is an ideal skills or attribute set. So with that being said, getting into the mods, I use ice component. The turret now inflicts freeze instead of toxic. Now this works for your blighted turret. The reason we use this is because, again, freeze is super important. If they're frozen in place, you're able to hit them dead on in the head, no problem. If they're moving around, it might be a little bit difficult. So that's why we use the freeze mod instead of the toxic, because our blighted rounds are already inflicting toxic. So we don't really care about that. We just want the frozen enemies. And then for the pants, it's same thing. I mean, for the attributes, it's basically you want, ideally, you want the attributes firepower, long range damage, and status power on all of your armor. If you feel you need skills life leech, grab that instead of long range damage or status power. Obviously, you still want firepower, but yeah, grab skills life leech only if you feel you need it. Otherwise, just keep going for damage. Cooldown reduction is fine, but we don't necessarily need it because blighted round should always be on. Scrapnel is only used if necessary. Obviously, you want it to do the 30%, but then the second one is only used if you have to get out of a sticky situation. And honestly, it's on such a low cooldown already, it's not really that big of a deal. So, blighted rounds increases critical damage by 15%. We use critical analysis. You can change this if you feel like there's a better one. As of right now, I don't have a better one. I feel like this is the best choice. And then high velocity bullets. I would say this is a mod you definitely want to get on any piece of your gear because sniper weapon damage is increased by 10%. You're using a sniper. I mean, 10% more damage on that is really good. And then we have emergency stance and ice trap. This is more survival. I would say ice trap will get you out of a lot of situations because it'll freeze enemies that are swarming you, and emergency stance just keeps you alive that much longer. And then trick up the sleeve, blighted rounds. This one is required. You cannot get away without using this one. While the skill is active, killing shots grant you 30% extra bullets in your mag. This will keep you pretty much full on your mag at all times, as long as you're an okay shot. If you're a bad shot, you might struggle a little bit, but if you're an okay shot, you pretty much never have to reload, and you should never be out of your blighted rounds. And because everything's being frozen all the time, freezing boost is really good. Boost your damage against enemies afflicted with freeze by 15%. This is super good, and I would say it's not necessary, but you're going to have things frozen pretty much all the time. So it's really good to have. Now, with that, I'm going to go ahead and just show off the build a little bit. I'm probably actually going to fail this just because this is a very close quarters one, but at least you can see what the build can do. Frontline is one I always kind of struggle with, so hopefully this goes well. Alright, so we're going to put our blighted rounds on, and then wait for the gates to open. And then right away we'll throw our scrapnel out, throw our freezing turret out, and then be more accurate than me and you'll be fine. Damn it. So we're doing okay damage by hitting the body, but if we get a crit damage or a crit, our crit damage is so high that we'll just destroy them pretty much every time. So let's throw that out, throw that out. Just be ready to dodge roll and you'll be fine. If you feel like you're struggling though, like I said, skills life leech will keep you alive and you'll be totally fine. You just want to make sure your blighted rounds are staying on. That's the main thing with this, just like all round builds, which I felt horrible building it this way, but I couldn't figure out another way. I was trying really hard. I tried all the skills, and this is what I ended up coming up with after probably about a week of play testing. I have been trying to get this build to work as well as I can. Since it is a sniper build, it's a little bit hard to solo with. In a group, this will do fantastic. You actually will have no problems in a group, probably. I have yet to play it in a group, but if you're not being focused, you're not going to be going down. So that's why this is just great in a group. However, by yourself, it is quite a bit harder because you are being focused the whole time, which means you're getting swarmed, you're getting hit, and everyone's just focusing on you. But that's why I say accuracy is so important. Oh, shoot. Okay. Throw that out. Throw the turret out. And then kill him. Kill that. So, as you can see, the build does plenty. I mean, it's really good, and it's it's not that hard to stay alive, even with the increase in damage they do to me. But basically, if I'm killing them fast enough, I'm not getting hit all that much. So basically, it should be fine. And they're pretty much staying frozen, as you can see, because I'm getting critical shots. I have my turret on, and no, that's really it. I actually, if they bring me to 30% health, they get frozen around me as well. So there's just a lot of things freezing, and it helps a ton. The snipers are still a problem. Just kind of prioritize them. What? Okay, that was weird. Oh, he snuck up on me a little bit. Close range, we do not do optimal damage. However, we still do really good damage. It's just not as much. My crits are a lot lower. See, now I've kind of screwed myself by losing my blighted rounds because I wasn't paying attention. I still do okay damage, but not nearly as much, and it's a lot harder with that. But it's still doable. I don't absolutely 100% need the rounds. It's just they help a lot. Okay, reload. Okay. Now, the hard part for me has been getting the times down, but it is doable. It definitely is. You just have to be more accurate than I am. So it's kind of like decide what you need to use, experiment a little bit. This is just what I've found. If you find something that works better, and if I have the mod, I'll definitely give it a shot. There are some I know will work really good, like I believe Killing Spree is supposed to be really good. I don't have that mod, but it is supposed to be really good. There's other mods that'll just help, and I'm aware of the mods. I just don't have them, and I kind of may do with what I have at the level I'm at. Now I have a Pyromancer at a higher level, so I do use some of those mods, and oddly enough, I still don't have some of the really good ones. I just kind of have the mediocre ones, and I make do. But my Pyromancer is an anomaly build anyways, so that one's quite a bit different. But that doesn't mean that if you have access to the good mods, use them. I'm not going to tell you not to. It makes sense to use them. um, but I do think there are a couple mods that I showed that are basically required. And one is the one that refills your mag, and the other is definitely um, the Winter Blast. Absolutely required, because as you can see, when they're frozen, I have easy targets. As long as I'm not getting hit all the time. Ugh, the snipers are still such an issue. But at least they don't kill us immediately. Challenge tier 15, they might. Like I said, I haven't gotten challenge tier 15. So if you guys try the build and you're on challenge tier 15, let me know how it goes. Because honestly, I have no idea how it'll go in challenge tier 15. I would like to believe it would go good, but I don't really know. Okay, so I can keep going with this, and I'm going to um just to kind of show you guys, the build does work, but there is a chance I'm going to fail on Moloch because it is difficult. But that being said, this build is still a lot of fun, and I do suggest trying it if you're a good shot, if you're a bad shot and just want to get better. This will kind of train you to, well, be better. So I'll keep trying to talk a little bit during this and kind of give little tips here and there. Oh god, the freeze. You could use actually ultimate bone shrapnel. That would be a good one to use as well. If you feel like maybe you don't need Winter's Blast as much, go ahead and switch to that. I mean, it'll be good because I did use it for a while and it was actually destroying things in a group. However, survival wise, I just didn't have any survival with it, so that's why I opted to not use it. Maybe in the future when I'm higher tier, have some more gear, I could see using it, but right now it was not working for me. So I opted to go against it. But that does not mean it's bad in any way. It's actually really good. And as you can see, I've had blighted rounds up most of the time. There was that one moment where I didn't. And, it was harder, but I was still killing everything pretty simply. It did take more bullets to kill elites. There are things that can change that a little bit. However, I don't have the mod, and it's just a damage to elites mod. Really good mod. If you have it and you feel you could fit it in somewhere, go for it because it is really, really good. However, I don't know where to fit it, to be honest. Now, as you can see, my time on this one is going to be pretty close. If not, I'm probably just going to be getting silver. Because again, this requires a lot of accuracy, and I am unfortunately not the most accurate. As you've seen, I've missed a lot of shots. So hopefully you guys have more luck than I do with that. But yeah, we'll see. Let me know how it goes for you guys, because that I've worked hard on this build, and I'm hoping it works for everyone else and not just me. It's not perfect. It is not perfect. I did what I could with what I had, and it turned out pretty good, but again, not perfect. You do struggle when you get swarmed, and that's why I mentioned, you want all this freezing stuff. Since you do struggle when swarmed, the freeze will help a lot. Just freezing them in place makes it to where you can get easy headshots, kill them quicker. The whole goal is to be killing them 1 to 2 shots. Some will still take more. There's nothing you can do about that. But the goal is to kill them quick. Now, the boss, this is where the build will struggle a little bit, because the boss has so much more health than everything else. He has so much more armor, and basically you'll probably end up reloading your blighted rounds, and that's going to screw you over, especially on Moloch, because his crit spot is on his back. It's the head of the person on his back, and it's a problem. Okay, I killed the captains. Get away from Moloch. Kill these guys. Ah, shoot. Moloch's on me again. Gotta run around. Okay, I need some enemies. Come on, enemies. I don't know. I need to kill them. Oh, they put Sanctuary on. Shit. Come on, come on, come on. Oh, you gotta be kidding me. Ah, shoot. No. Alright, well, I had to reload. This is gonna be a lot harder now. That's okay, though. We can still do it. As you can see, I am in silver, which sucks, but nothing I can really do. Like I said, this depends a lot on your accuracy. And I will reiterate that about 100 times, because I am only doing poorly because I am not very accurate. However, I know a sniper build is something that is not optimal at all. I just wanted to make it, and it seems fun, and it definitely is fun. However, it is a lot harder solo. I cannot deny that. Oh no. No, no, no. I might die here. Let's get the rounds up. Okay. Ah, Sanctuary's on again. Okay, get away, get away, get away. Throw that out. Ow, ow, ow. Okay. Come on. Okay. Okay, now we just have Moloch, and this is going to be the hard part. But as you can see, once we were able to hit his critical spot, it was fine. We were able to kill him, no problem. Now, unfortunately, we did get silver. This build is definitely capable of gold. Just be more accurate than I am. With that being said, guys, that's the build. I hope you are more successful than I am, like, you know, getting faster times in expeditions, or you're playing with a friend who, you know, basically just takes all the damage for you while you're sniping everything. But hopefully this works out for you, and let me know what you guys think, and I'll see you guys next time. If you like this video, hit that like button. If you want to see more content like this, hit that subscribe button. As